All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, Proverbs 9, verse 6 is what we're going through. So it reads, leave your simple ways and live and walk in the way of insight. And this hits three of the entrepreneurial phases for me. But before we go through those, what's the interpretation? It's like, take the time to actually live. Don't let the simple ways of life fill up your life. Leave those ways and live. Do the things that actually make you feel alive. Go serve. Go become intimate with people. Become vulnerable. Bear burdens together. And then walk in the way of insight. Go take some action that is insightful, that is rooted in insight. Don't just do stuff for willy-nilly reasons, right? Be purposeful, intentional. So the entrepreneurial application of this for me is phase 6. Conduct a time audit. Look at your day. Look at the reason you're doing the things you're doing in your day. And then if they're not for reasons of insight, or they are simple things, you're doing them for simple reasons that aren't needed, drop them. In phase 8, measure those results. Are you actually living from the things that you're doing every day? Are they giving you energy? Are they giving you life? Are they expansive in their nature? Are they helping serve others? If not, maybe they're too simple. Maybe you need to leave those ways. And then phase 7, taking daily action. Walk in the way of insight. Your daily actions, back to that time audit, do they have purpose behind them? Are they rooted in insight? If not, maybe start switching some stuff up. So where has this shown up in my life? I would say seeking more information to leave the way I'm doing things currently and grow in how I'm doing them so I can become more intentional because I have sought out information. And that happens with who I surround myself with, the inputs I listen to, the people I follow on social media. You get a little tidbit here from Alex Hormozy or Derek Fay or some small business people on Twitter, and you start learning about this stuff and how I can impact people, right? Read the Bible, listen to a podcast, whatever it may be. Seek out more information so that I can optimize the way I'm doing things. Instead of leaving the current way and going to another way, let's say to optimize. I like that better. Um, in addition to that, I check the purpose of my activities and replace them if there's something better to do. So if I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, this working out, this eating this, or this posting this podcast, or talking to these people, or tweeting like this, or whatever it is, this isn't doing what I intended for it to do. It's not producing the life, the expansive nature that I intended for it. I need to replace it, right? And it's a constant evaluation of that. And then daily KPIs to push stuff forward. You decide where you're going with intention, and you decide on the daily action that's going to take you there. So some of my KPIs are like growing my Twitter. I tweet for 30 minutes a day, interacting with people. I try to tweet out my own personal tweets based on stuff that I see in the spaces that I'm trying to grow in. I post the podcast daily, and then I'm marketing for real estate deals. That's a monthly KPI where it's like, okay, am I doing the things I need to do to have the money at the end of the month to market? And then holding my brother accountable to trading is another thing that I do. And recently it's been this virtual summit, like making sure things are going well for that. And so those are some of my daily KPIs in my life and showing up for work every day, loving my wife every day, being there for my friends every day. Those are some character trait KPIs where they're not so business focused, but it's how I live my life, right? And so where do I want to show up? Where do I want this to show up in my life? A lot of my daily KPIs that I just talked about were around improving myself, improving my own influence. But I want that to reach such a point where then I can measure daily KPIs around moving people up in their life. So as opposed to expanding my influence, I want to be expanding the influence of other people. I want to be making people who prioritize impact, making leaders, basically. And I want to measure progress and do activities that directly help people improve. So it's like they got healthier today. They got wealthier today. They became more intimate with their loved ones today and they created more impact today. I want to have metrics around those for other people's lives. And I want to, the systems and frameworks to be so automatic in my life. It's like, yes, I'm growing in those things. But part of me growing in these things is growing other people in these things. And so then my influence grows like that. Much like if you guys watch anime, um, you know, One Piece, you have some crewmates, right? And you have the captain. And yes, the captain is growing, but as the crewmates grow, the influence of the whole pirate group grows. And same thing with Naruto. You got as the ninjas grow in the certain villages, their power and influence grows. And then you see the same thing in business. As you get more employees, the CEO needs to grow for sure. But the CEO isn't going to make $1 billion company alone. The employees need to grow. And so you have to pour into people, you have to develop people. And so I want most of my time to be focused on developing people and have the systems and frameworks down for developing myself every day, right? And so how can you guys apply this to your life? I would say leave your simple ways behind. If you're doing something without purpose or in excess, course correct accordingly. And so this is really like, okay, when you do your time audit, it's like I spent 2 hours watching TV today. Not that watching TV is bad, but do you need to watch it for 2 hours if your income isn't where you want it to be? Could you spend an hour on a side hustle and an hour watching TV? Or could you spend 30 minutes on a side hustle, 30 minutes volunteering, and then an hour watching TV? Like there are those little ways you can shift around your time where it's like just be intentional with, 80% of your day, 90% of your day. And then it is actually intentional to not be intentional with 10, 20, 30, 40% of your day because you want to preserve freedom. You don't want to be rigid. But you also want to make sure you're getting stuff done. And so, yeah, get a really structured 8 to 10 hours where it's full of impact and then leave 6 hours unstructured, like completely unstructured. And then, of course, you have to eat during those times. You got to work out during those times. And so it gets a little harder, but make sure you have a couple hours a day where it's like, yeah, I'm just chilling if that's what you want. Maybe you want a full pack 16-hour day. Basically, what I'm saying is don't allow yourself to go days and days and days without being really intentional with your time or doing poor activities in excess because you're avoiding work. You're avoiding negative emotion. Confront that stuff, do your activities with intention, and then the stuff you're doing in excess, cut it back so that you can fill your day with more intention. And it's okay to leave a gap in your day where you're not being necessarily intentional, but you're being intentionally unintentional so you don't burn out. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm trying to make. And that's what we got for you guys today on the show. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you on the next one. And on that note, we're out.